This thing would actually work. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this special Around the Ropes podcast episode right here on the new ATR network. As always, you can find us. We're on all social media accounts. Find us on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. You name it, we're there. Let me throw it around the room first. See how everybody's doing. First, the man to my right, who I call him the biggest pain in my ass, but he has my back no matter what. He is a ring announcer for several companies, including Ace, Creator Pro, Wrestle Pro, Invictus. You name it, he's there. If you're also in the state of Pennsylvania and you need to have an ordained minister, he can also help you with that as well. The one, the only, Mr. Ryan Peterson. Ryan, what's going on?
Oh, yes. I always got your back, and it's a big back. But I'm doing great, John. I am doing fantastic on this hot as hell, humid Tuesday night. Or what? We're live, right?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay, it's Tuesday night. Okay, just making sure. Thank you. Yeah, it's a lovely, warm, and humid night here in the Northeast, because that's where the three of us are from. Especially this guy over here who lives in the Stony Brook bubble that nobody knows where the hell they are. Well, then again, some of them think it's 1975. I'm sorry. Go ahead, John.
I'm letting you finish.
That's what she said. Go ahead. Just keep talking.
And as always, let me go to the other person who's on with us as well. You've seen her before. She's a huge Immortal Championship Wrestling fan. The one, the only Miss Billie. Billie, how you doing?
Not just Immortal. I mean, yes, Immortal. But come on, just independent wrestling in general.
Yes.
But I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
And this guy's the host?
Oh, my God. And guys, obviously...
Who hired this guy? Seriously.
Ryan, one more and I'm going to mute you.
Wow.
Yes, guys. All right, gentlemen. That's enough. I didn't wear a referee shirt. Let's do this.
More like gentlemen
right.
and John.
Moving on. Now, guys, we're at the halfway point of 2023, and it's scary to think that.
Shit.
And obviously, instead of pro wrestling, in addition to pro wrestling, all three of us are also huge independent wrestling fans. And I figured tonight we will give out some awards for who we think should get certain awards. Basically, it's going to be male superstar, female superstar, tag team, match, show, and moment of the first half of 2023. Now, before we get into the awards, Brian, I'm going to throw it to you first. What got you into independent wrestling?
A stupid decision that I made almost 15 years ago. No, I'm just kidding. So I started attending independent wrestling right after high school, actually, and I was around 2010 to a company out in Deer Park called NYWC, the New York Wrestling Connection. And, started going there and then started going a little bit further out east to Shirley, New York. Shirley, that's almost near the Hamptons, for ECPW, East Coast Professional Wrestling. And then that transitioned into me trying to get my foot in the door of wrestling, which I obviously failed at. And then I attended a seminar with Mouth of the South Jimmy Hart, became a referee for a match, and it sucked. So that's how I ended up, with the announcing portion, because I was a DJ in college. And I transitioned from that into basically an 11-year announcing career.
Billie, I'll ask you the same question as well. What got you into independent wrestling?
Obviously, years and years of training as a fan. It's a lot of work. I really put it in. Now, a couple years ago, the pandemic, really. I've always been a wrestling fan in general. I had gone to a few independent wrestling shows when I lived in Cincinnati. That's where I'm from originally. And now I'm up here in Albany, and I met some friends that took me to a couple shows, like NEW, I went to a show there, and then I went to Blitzkrieg with a friend. And then I found, you mentioned Immortal. Like, I found out this show was going to be pretty much 15 minutes from my house. And I said, you know what? It's time to explore. I'm doing this. I went on my own, and I've been hooked ever since. I'll travel anywhere for independent wrestling.
But aren't the closer shows the best ones?
Amazing. This last show I went to was like 50 minutes from my house, and I celebrated.
Oh,
And that's just because it was under an hour. Usually, I live in the sticks, man. There's nothing up here. So anybody that wants to bring independent wrestling to Schenectady and Albany, bring them here.
Bring them there and bring your banjos. Now,
I guess I'll be the one to answer the same question as well. What got me into independent wrestling? Honestly,
all right, let's get to the awards now. No, just kidding.
Honestly, it was because of this podcast. I wasn't so big in the independents beforehand, but with this podcast and honestly, Ryan, I'm about to put you over right now.
Oh, about time.
Bringing you in, and then all the connections that we've made throughout the almost 2 years of being on air. With companies like Invictus, with Titan, with Goddesses, with Immortal. And realizing now that you can spend $20, get a second row seat, and get quality matches that you won't see on WWE or AEW. And also you get to know a lot of these guys, which is, you can't beat that. But before we get to the awards, do have some comments coming in, so let's go through the comments quickly. DJ Storms chimes in, saying that he's watching.
Shizzle Dizzle. Okay.
Yes.
What's up, DJ Shizzle Dizzle?
David Gold is checking us out also tonight.
Mr. Gold.
Hey, what's up, Dave?
Billie, you have a fan.
Oh, thank you.
And Ronell chimes in.
Yeah, NEW. I definitely need to get back to NEW. Poughkeepsie's calling my name.
I need to check out NEW, actually.
I just like that venue, like the Mid-Hudson, whatever it's called in Poughkeepsie.
Oh,
I've seen big time wrestling there, I think, too. But NEW multiple times I've seen. It was amazing. Oh, that's where I saw the Briscoes and I didn't walk up to them. Sorry, sad moment.
Yes, obviously, this past weekend, yeah, that show was fantastic, and I did a quick recap of that over on our Facebook page. And Billie, also, everybody's a mark for Billie.
All right, this is news to me, but I'll take it.
But let's get into it. Like I said, folks, we're going to be giving out some awards tonight. So I figured the first one we have, I actually wrote it right here. We're going to start off with match of the first half. Now, the only stipulation that I put in, and people who are watching as well, if you want to give your opinion, you definitely can. You had to have either been there live for the show or have seen it on IWTV, title match, premiere, or seen it streaming. Those are the only two stipulations. It can't be, because I heard from this person's aunt, second cousin, sister, brother, that a show was good. Okay, I just want to put it out there.
And it's really not fair, I just have to say, because there's so much independent wrestling. Like, I got so mad trying to decide on anything. And so I tried to pick just stuff that I was, like, personally really into. But I'm just saying, ahead of the game.
I'm going to cheat on mine because I have a 3-way tie, in my opinion.
Oh, wow.
All right, well, let me get to first comment got coming in for one of the matches of the year. Crowbar versus Rick Recon.
Guess whose choice that is?
Well, hold on. Is it the first time they fought?
The one at Rage in the Cage.
So that was DJ Storm. So Ryan, I'm going to throw it to you first. What's your match of the first half?
Like I said, I got 3 actually.
Okay.
Oh.
Right ahead.
In no particular order, the first one I have was when I announced for Deadlock Pro back in April. And, I mean, granted, all the matches on that card was, I think, in my opinion, like one of the best cards I've ever announced. But the match that really solidified it was the main event, which was for the DPW World Tag Team titles. The current champions at the time, Dominic Guarini and Kevin Koo, taking on the team of Marcus Mathers and Matt Tremont in a Jersey street fight.
Oh.
And when I tell you that shit was intense, that shit was intense. My second match happened at Create a Pro. Back at their last event back in May, where after literally 6-7 months of these two going at it, they finally solidified it, and that was the Silver Sniper TJ Crawford taking on Bronson in a Ravens rules match.
Oh, wow.
And John, you were there for that one, where basically they did everything from tables to garbage cans to even thumbtacks.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And lastly was from son of a bitch. I have one in mind. Okay. Wrestle Pro.
Okay.
Because, John, I announced more than just hot sauce.
We get the point. Move on.
Anyway, the last Wrestle Pro event that they had, it was a three-way tables, ladders, and chairs match with Dion Rusman, LSG, and Danny fucking Moff.
So, yeah. I can see why that one is a good one.
There were so many matches that I saw and announced for, but those three were the top three that popped in my mind right now.
Billie, would you like to go?
Yeah, honestly, Mr. Storms that piped in, I totally agree. Rick Recon versus Crowbar. It was the, what did I say? He said it too, but the ISPW Rage in the Cage. It was a cage match. I believe, it was for the heavyweight championship, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. No, the first one wasn't?
No. I don't think it was. Because Recon wasn't champion then.
Yeah, you're right. So, anyway, amazing match. Highly recommend looking it up. Obviously, other people agree already. So, and I mean, Recon just had a hell of a year, and it's freaking Crowbar. I mean, come on. Like, in a cage. He jumped off the top of the cage. And how old is Crowbar? Like,
almost 50.
Yeah. It was just insane. And both those guys are killer. And then they did it again. I mean, they just amazing match.
For me, I got to go back to the Invictus NFW show. For me, it's Akira versus Ellis Taylor. Those guys, basically, I think the best way I can put it, in essence, murdered each other that night.
Oh, really? Some of that?
Yeah.
If they could, they probably would.
That was the only thing that was not missing, which was skewers.
Yeah. But at one point, they started using, I'm not kidding you, if you go back and watch it, at one point, they started using the fans as weapons.
Those are the best weapons.
Oh, yeah. I was really sitting there that day going, okay, they're going to chuck me. Ellis Taylor's going to be done. But I also noticed, and the one thing I noticed, because I was standing on the other side where they were, when I think it was Akira, was basically Irish whipping people into Ellis by the stage, he wasn't going to come after me because he knew damn well if he did that with me, Ellis Taylor would probably be in the stage. So that is our matches of the first half. The next one we got here is we're going to jump to tag team of the first half. Now, Ryan, would you like to go first on this one?
I know one bad. No, I'm just kidding. No, for me, tag team of the year.
First half.
First half. Thank you. You know what? Skip me. How about we let Billie go first on this one?
Okay. So I bounced for a minute on this. Like I was like, there's a lot of really good tag teams that I've enjoyed so far this year. But one just kind of went above and beyond. They're pros. They've been around for years. The Now. Their current ISPW Tag Team Champions. Also, they competed in the Crockett Cup this year. And they're pretty much regulars on NWA, but
which is great for them.
Crush it. I mean, it's just been a hell of a year for them.
Yeah, and before we get to the next one, DJ Storm chimes in here, and I think he signed up the same list as Billie because he also says the now.
Come on. Well, okay. Time out. Disclaimer: DJ Storms is a total ISPW mark, so
that explains.
That's how I've met him at ISPW. Everybody knows him at ISPW. So that makes sense, but not my whole list is an ISPW. Just you wait.
I'm busting chops, but Ryan?
No, John, you go first. I mean, you go then.
Okay, for me, this one was a tough one because there's a lot of teams. The Now I think is a perfect one, but I'm gonna go with the team that's from upstate, and that's CXR.
Wow. Okay.
Because I remember, and I'm going back to the Invictus show for a second. They took on the Slime Balls. Brian, if I remember correctly, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I spoke to TJ about it afterwards, and I congratulated him on the fact that it was probably the most fundamental tag team wrestling match I've ever seen. And I've seen CXR a couple of times now this year. And I don't think they've been around as a team that long together. I could be wrong.
Ryan would know.
I mean, I don't think they do well separately, but they rarely tag.
But all I'm saying is, even though they rarely tag, when they tag, you might as well think they've been tagging for 20 years. And to me, and we talk about a lot on the regular show, tag team wrestling, when you have the right partner with you, you can have magic. Great example, Edge and Christian, the Hardys, Dudley Boys. I'm not saying that CXR is of that level, but I'm saying as far as fundamentals, the basics of tag team wrestling, they're in the same area to me. But yeah, so mine is CXR. Ryan, what about you?
Now, folks, little disclaimer from me. I'm going to cheat for most of these categories because I have multiple selections because I also announce for a lot of companies. So this one I'm going to do 3 as well.
Okay.
First off, what's up?
I don't blame you.
Yeah. First off, one team that really has impressed me, and I finally got to work with them this year, the Slime Balls. Sage Chance and Tommy Rant, the Slime Balls. Those two, fresh from the NYWC Academy out here on Long Island, they impressed me a whole lot with their in-ring ability, their in-ring talent, especially that match that they had against CXR at Invictus/NFW, and also being regulars at Win, which, by the way, they will be in the tag team title tournament on July 29th. Just saying. Another team that, in my opinion, kind of had a massive resurgence, not only in this, past half year, but I think in the last couple of years, and that is the SAT.
Oh, that's a good call.
The SAT, Will, Joel, and even Jose. I'm calling all 3 of them because, granted, they're considered trios, but, 2 out of the 3, it doesn't matter. Those 3 have had quite a resurgence in the last 18 months. Or 19, whatever you want to call it. They've wrestled consistently on GCW. They've had phenomenal trios matches anywhere they go. In MLW, in Win. I think they've done the Northeast Wrestling show recently too, but definitely GCW a lot. And, I've known the Maximos for a long time. And seeing them bounce back, it's incredible. Last but not least, my third tag team that I can think of off the top of my head without getting chastised is oof. I just had it. Okay. This one's an odd pairing, but it works. They are the current Creative Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the team of Kevin Tibbs and CPA, the Midlife Express.
Wow. Who was the first person?
Kevin Tibbs.
Okay. I didn't even know about that.
Oh yeah, they've been tag champs for.
I love CPA. So.
Oh, who doesn't love CPA?
Yeah.
Like those two, it has a weird chemistry and vibe, but it works. CPA is more like the shy, mellow type person, and Kevin Tibbs is the complete opposite of that. And it just meshes well together.
Opposites attract.
Honorable mention: the Even Stevens. That's an honorable mention because they are the best in the world.
And Brian, I completely agree with you. Let's Billy, going back to you for a second. You had said before about how DJ Swims is a mark. He says he's not a mark.
I'm sorry, he's not a mark. He's a wrestling analyst.
Super fan. All right.
That's probably good. All right, let's keep things moving here because now we're going to go to male superstar.
Oh, shit. John, go first.
Sure you want to go first on this one?
I'll go.
I went first. Billy went first.
Yeah, John, go first.
Okay, fine.
You're next, buddy.
Mine is Jay Bougie.
Alex from Invictus, if you're watching this.
Okay, before I get chastised for this, I'm going to explain. But here's the issue, though, with this one, okay? You could have done probably 15 and still not had enough. But you look at somebody like Bougie, ever since TakeOver ended, he has become probably, I'm trying to think here, because there's other heels who are better than him, but he's becoming one of the more believable heels. Which you don't see that. He's becoming a true heel. Not a cool heel, a true heel. You know damn well if he's coming out, if it's Invictus, if it's whatever, you know damn well those boos are going to be coming right away. Anytime he's on the microphone or he's in the ring, you know damn well you're going to get a good sounding match. And also, Ryan, going back to Invictus for a second, his whole storyline with Alex right now.
Again, Alex, he's a bougie mark. Just saying.
So that's my pick, Jay Bougie.
That's Billy, a good pick, man.
Who wants to go next?
Billy?
I'll go.
All right.
So, oh man, this is hateful, and this nobody's gonna like this, but the All-Father, Darius Carter. I love me a heel. I am so sorry to everybody else that I love you, but there's something about he hooks you from the moment the music hits. I mark out for this indie guy that I don't do that often. Like I love every moment from the moment he comes out the curtain. The music's great. The entrance is great. I mean, he's an asshole to the point that I'm pretty sure he has to be one in real life, right? I mean, it's just, he's that good. So yeah, I have like a huge list of honorable mentions. And then I realized as I was writing the list that I just really like heels, I think. But yeah, DC, and he just had a birthday too. So you can't deny him. I mean, he's the champ of what, has 2 belts currently, I think. And then I don't even know I don't know stats off the top of my head. I'm not that person. But he's on every list imaginable right now. So Darius Carter, yeah.
And also a little bit of a spoiler, he shares the same birthday as me.
Yes.
Ryan, go ahead.
Okay, so as much as I got a few.
Okay, go.
I know I'm breaking the rules, but I don't give a shit. So for Darius, I would like to say Darius Carter, but the thing is, I really haven't seen him as much this past half year. I'm gonna be straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
But he's an honorable mention because I've always loved working with him, and shocking.
And you don't want to piss him off, right?
Well, not only that, him and I shared the same birthday, so I nothing but love and respect for him. But my top 3 right now. Okay. I'm gonna go with a little bit of a curveball here that I don't think either one of you thought of, or at least, probably Billy. Gabriel Sky.
Okay.
I mean, granted, he just ended his, I think it was like 400 plus day at reign as their remarkable wrestling heavyweight champion. But that guy has been on fire.
Yeah,
especially in the last year.
Yeah, he's a little bit yeah.
I mean, to go back a little further, a couple of years ago, he faced off against one speedball Mike Bailey.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
In a match that basically almost tore the freaking building down.
That was at Invictus.
What's up?
Wasn't it at Invictus?
Didn't I not just say Invictus?
You were cutting it out there for a second. I didn't hear that part.
John, clean out your ears, dude.
Okay, moving on.
My second pick, someone who's actually been dominant as a massive powerhouse from what I've seen, and that is someone who likes to yell out "Disturia" in the Dominican Destroyer, Vargas. Vargas, who's been a dominant force. He was the interim Creator Pro champion. He is the current WrestlePro Gold champion. It's just been dominant everywhere he's gone. I mean, hell, if he stepped in the ring with John would be dead in 30 seconds.
What? Why am I moving on?
Because
Ryan's recurring fantasy.
Not just mine.
Wow.
For John's OnlyFans.
Moving on.
Lastly, this gentleman, I have actually seen him progress immensely. And that is actually someone from upstate New York. Exactly. I gotta go with the new Immortal Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Garrett Holiday.
Ooh, shout out to Garrett.
Garrett, just wait till I tell you what John said. Oh, John, you're fucked.
You guys are doing an interview with him soon, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Wednesday night. We're
Awesome. There you go. Just thought I'd make sure everybody knew about that.
Oh, yes. We'll be doing an interview soon with that. And also, some guy who likes to yell out his name constantly in PJ Savage. Am I right, John?
No, you're 100% correct on that.
Ugh. Savage. Ugh.
I mean, how do you not yell it out if your name's Savage is savage.
He's something, all right. I'm kidding. I love Savage. But those are my top 3 picks for now. Again, the honorable mention. I actually got a second honorable mention, and Dr. Sleep, Anthony Gangone.
Absolutely.
That's why I was saying this list, especially for them, and also for the females as well, are going to be probably the 2 toughest ones.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
But let's keep things moving here because now we're going to do moment of the first half. Ryan, would you like to go first?
Son of a bitch.
I'll go.
Billy, go, please. Please.
So I was trying to think of like something, that really blew me away. That was, I didn't want to pick something specifically from a match. And immediately what came to me was totally blanked on the name of the show. Sorry. It was Brie Combinations Wrestling's Summer on Smash. It was a tribute to Mama Pan, AJ Pan's mom.
Mm-hmm.
The moment was, and I'm like, I'm not crying, but I was totally crying. I didn't even know that, I didn't even know her, but it was just such a deep moment. The moment was right before the show. They had where typically would do like a 10-bell salute, and they decided to, in her honor, that she wouldn't dig that somber stuff. So they had a dance party, and everybody from the locker room came out. Even Darius Carter was not happy about it. He just stood there, but everybody was there. I saw people dance in the ring together. That it was amazing. It was that moment where I realized that, as corny as it is, and I know like there's a lot of drama and crap in independent wrestling, but that moment is why I love about this. Like, this is my passion for a reason. And I feel like it's a community. For like that 2 seconds, everybody was just cool, and it was a beautiful moment. I'm so happy I came down to Ridgefield Park to be a part of it.
Ryan, and Billie, I remember that was a very good one. Actually, here's the funny thing: DJ Storms did not pick that moment. He actually picked another moment, and his moment was Matt Cardona defeating Jacob Fatu for the House of Glory world title. So there was that moment.
That is a shocking moment because no one would have expected that on his first night there.
When we were doing these picks, I specifically was like, okay, anybody, because is Cardona currently signed somewhere or no? Yeah, he is.
No, he's not.
Oh, well, I didn't think about Cardona, but anyway, anybody that was possibly signed, like even on a temporary thing, I didn't even look at because it's adding too many more people to my list.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a really good choice too.
Ryan, do you have yours? Because I got mine.
I got one that solidified me, but also a couple of personal favorites of mine. But I'm gonna let you go first, John.
For me, this one just happened recently, and that's when Garrett Holiday won the title. And I say that for one reason: the pop that he got afterwards. And yes, some might say it was a speed count at the end, but it was just a moment of him winning the title in his hometown. And I said,
his wife came up and put the belt on him. It was so cute.
I did see that.
When that moment happened, the first thing I thought of was in the Rocky. I think it was Rocky 3. I think it was where Rocky had the moment with I'm now drawing a blank here. Adrian, yeah.
Adrian, I did it.
That's what
my
I thought.
Ex-husband's name. Sorry.
That's what I went. So for me, it's Garrett Holiday winning the title at this past Immortal show.
Cool.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, I thought you were still talking. I was waiting for you to say, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Peterson.
Okay, Blaine. This is the fun that we do here on the Around the Ropes podcast.
I feel like I'm back in school and it's summertime. It's so weird. I'm back in my kindergarten classroom all over again.
Well, again, this is what happens when it's John Blaine and the team.
What's your moment, Ryan?
I got a few of them, and a couple of them were actually my personal picks because it happened to me. So, first, the actual moment of the year was kind of a 2-in-1 because it happened on the same night. First of all, Jay Bougie winning the Climb for Clout ladder match at In Bloom 3. And then 45 minutes later, cashing in on PJ Savage to become the new Invictus Pro Wrestling social media champion. And seeing Alex getting pissed and throwing a chair that almost hit me in the back.
Oh, jeez.
But those aren't the personal moments. The personal ones were not wrestling, not action related, but something that happened to me. First off, it happened back in April at DPW, and those fans are very passionate. They're into it and whatnot. And I've done shows before where they're not used to their normal announcer, so I get booed the entire show, trying to throw me off guard. But when I stepped out of the curtain, to start the show, the reaction, the response was very, very warm and very welcoming. And it made me feel fucking great.
Aww.
And John was there for this one too, by the way. a month later, at Creator Pro in my old hometown of Melville, New York, hearing 700 plus people chant "Sexy Ryan." That's fucking great.
Which show was that?
The Creator Pro Homecoming.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. That's awesome.
I'll say this much, because I had a video of it. If I can find the video of it, I'll post it up on our socials. See, because I was standing on the other side, Ryan, when you came out, seeing your face, I was like, I can tell you were at that moment where it's like, okay, I don't want to cry because I'm about to be in a ring, but it's like you wanted to start crying because it's like, holy shit, what the hell? It was like that moment where you made it, so to speak.
Well, it was also because it was Mother's Day. It was Mother's Day the following day, so I was thinking of my mother when I walked out of the curtain. So yeah, just a lot of emotions that day. Thinking that damn well she would have been right there, even though
she was there.
I was like, even though she was there, I meant like physically, but you know what I mean. But yeah. That fucking pop that I got, I'm like, holy shit. I think it was actually the best reaction I've ever gotten anywhere. Whether it's Invictus. I mean, WrestlePro, they're a close second.
But I don't think anything's going to top that moment for you.
No, absolutely not. We'll see what happens on July 30th. Calm down, folks. July 30th, Creator Pro presents, I forgot the name of the show, but we have Aaron Rourke versus Effie. The Battle of the Gays, as they're calling it.
Wait a second. What? You just.
Oh,
we're talking after the show.
Oh yeah, on July 30th, Sunday, July 30th.
I've never seen
returns to Limbo.
I've never seen an Effie match in person.
And he'll be taking on the dime piece Aaron Rourke in a Battle of the Gays, as they're calling it.
Fabulous.
Oh yes, it will be fabulous.
Well, I might have to bring my gender fluid kiddo down, honestly. Like, they would be super excited. So,
and it's an outdoor show.
We got 2 more categories left. And I think these 2 are going to probably be the 2 of the toughest ones left. We're going to go to show of the first half.
This is a show.
That's basically what I thought of.
I had to, sorry.
Okay, fine. But
all musical theater marks too.
Curtain call coming soon.
Billie, would you like to go first on this one?
Yeah, and I was going back and forth like, all right, this is kind of biased, but I've been to a lot of shows this year. But the one that I think it was so exciting for me because lots of little reasons, but even more so because I didn't expect it to be as great as it was. Like, I knew it was going to be great. Like, I knew it was going to be a good show. It always is there. But this past weekend, Immortal Things 4, Immortal Championship Wrestling, in Cobleskill, New York.
Yes.
It was so freaking good from the beginning to the end. There was great storytelling throughout. The stuff with Kayla Sparks and Ben Hameen, just love it. And yeah, I know you love him. There was like, okay, what was it? Oh, the dog collar match. This was almost my match of the year. Career versus career. It was father versus son, Chip versus Shane Stetson in a dog collar match. Like I said, career versus career. Shane came out on top, but at the end, like, once again, another happy, like, community moment. Everybody came out, and apparently Chip is now going to be working behind the scenes. I think he was already doing that, but I think he's something like Chief Officer of Talent, or they have some sort of name. But it was an emotional night. It was amazing. Then the Garrett Holiday match that you talked about earlier with Ben Hameen and Kayla Sparks coming out with a giant donut and smashing it in Ben Hameen's face just made me so happy. Kayla's match was great. The Battle Royal was great. There wasn't a match that I didn't like. There wasn't a match that I wasn't excited about as it happened. I know I'm probably forgetting a lot of stuff, but overall, There was a really good Eddie Guerrero type spot in the Blazer Rum and Adam Stone match. That was great, where he pulled the boot off, and like, I pop for that stuff, man, every time. It was just a great show from beginning to end. And on top of everything else, they had the girl that played Susie from Stranger Things was like there signing autographs, like right next, like while the show's going on. It was a huge turnout, just amazing show. So thank you, Mike King. You're crushing it, bruh.
Yeah, this one, Ryan, you want to go?
Nope, you go first.
Okay. This one was probably the toughest one for me out of any of them. And I say that because I had the Immortal show like in my top 3. But I had one show that kind of surpassed it a little bit. And that's the Summer on Smash show with Brie. Because I've been to quite a few Brie shows. Actually, the end of this month would have been 1 year of me going to Brie combination shows. And I thought that show, obviously it was in tribute to Mama Pan. I mean, overall, that show, top to bottom, the storytelling was good. You had your moments. I mean, there's really nothing else I can say. Ryan, before we get to yours, DJ Storm chimes in here. And his is Rage in a Cage. This is
Pleasant surprises. It was a great show, though.
Ryan, go ahead.
Okay. I got 5. I'll make it quick. I'll make it quick.
Were you announcer for all 5 of them?
Yes.
I knew it.
First off, back in January, Garden State Pro Wrestling, Duality. Especially with that fucking cowboy match with Brian Keith and Manders. Oh, fucking hell. Talk about big men slapping me.
Big meaty men.
Yeah, damn right. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. Number 2 was Creator Pro Homecoming. Just something about that night. The energy was intense. The matches were on fire. I finally got to work with Angelina Love. And also got to see a recreation of the Beautiful People with her and Notorious Mimi. Just saying. What? Shut your mouth, John.
Go. I'm not saying anything.
I saw you acting like I'm
keeping my mouth shut.
Finally. Number 3. In Bloom 3 in Victor's Pro Wrestling in the Boogie Down Bronx, because it was actually the biggest crowd they've ever done to date. Number 4 was WrestlePro Mayhem, where it's not only that triple threat TLC match, but also Dark STG and Falaba in a coffin match.
Ooh.
Which, mind you, that coffin was fucking huge. I actually laid down in it for a little bit.
Did you accidentally fall asleep in it?
I almost did, actually. That shit was comfortable. So I give them mad credit for that.
You got to lay in it for eternity.
I mean, I could have fallen asleep in there. And then, last but not least, was... I forgot the name. I forgot the name of the show, but it happened at the end of March. And it was actually my debut with Wrestling Is Now.
Oh, nice.
Oh, the first show they did.
Well, of the new year, at least.
Yeah, I remember which one you're talking about now.
That one, in my opinion, was absolutely chaotic. Like, it was just like the energy was there. I think, and like the trios match, just everything about it.
That was WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
Because I remember they were saying at the show, they said it was kind of ironic how they were able to sell out the Mecca on an independent show that had no big names on it.
Pretty much.
Because I think the big name on it, if I remember correctly, was
Lindsay.
No, not Lindsay. Chavo was supposed to be there.
He was, but he pulled out, unfortunately.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Wait, hold on. Time out. You're not saying Lindsay's you're saying Lindsay's not a big name? Oh, boy.
Okay.
Lindsay, if you're watching this, his name is John Blaine. He lives in Stony Brook, and yeah, he doesn't think you're a big name.
Ryan.
He's going to come at you.
Ryan.
Exactly.
Okay. Now I feel like now I have to explain myself again. This is great.
No,
I'm not trying to diminish Lindsay, okay? He's great. Don't get me wrong. But you're talking about a Guerrero here.
Sounds like demonetizing, just saying.
Moving on.
you two are terrible.
Last category we got
It's
here.
entertainment, Billy. Something that some of these podcasters that you know who I'm referring to do not do nowadays. Now.
Okay, let's start taking shots, everybody, please.
You're good.
If only I had my washcloth over here right now.
Thank God you don't.
Oh, I can find it.
Female superstar of the first half.
Oh, my pick is Billie.
Well, that's it. Show's done. Goodbye,
I'm
guys.
a superstar sitting at front row. That's all I got.
Oh yeah, seeing her progress all the way from the Performance Center all the way up to here. Phenomenal journey. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you. Good night.
Have you been watching my 2K22 or something?
2K22 and a half.
I do have a pretty stellar career mode. I mean,
Actually, no, it is 2K22, but unfortunately the 2 is spelled T-O-O, not T-W-O.
anyway, female superstar. Or superstar? Are we saying superstar? Female wrestler.
Yeah.
Because it's important to me. Wrestler.
Yeah.
But they all are superstars, so it doesn't matter. So who wants to go first?
You.
Because I'm a female. All right. So this was obviously hard. Women's wrestling's my bread and butter when it comes to in the indies as well. But it's more like when I'm watching AEW and WWE, Impact, Ring of Honor, like most of the matches that I'm the most interested in are the women's matches. Unfortunately, there's not as many indie women's matches on a normal card, so it sucks. But I got top 4.
Come right ahead.
Go right ahead.
And I did pick because I think she's done the most impact and community wise. Like she's visited schools and all these other things. But my number 1 is Vicious Vicky. She's current BCW champion, current ISPW champion. She's just everywhere. And I have never seen a bad match. You all know I love Michaela Sparks, my Spice Ranger. She's just the first time I saw her, I think that's when I kind of like, okay, all right, there's some women's wrestling up because there's not a lot around here. And she just, stands for a lot of things that I love. Ruthless Lala. And the courageous Christina Marie. Those are my top 4.
Fuck.
Biased, perhaps. Don't care.
Ryan, go ahead.
It's not biased because those were actually my choices as well, but I got more.
Oh, boy. I was going to say, try to top that one.
Okay, definitely agree with Vicky, Christina, Lala, and Kayla Sparks. Also got to go with Notorious Mimi.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Edith Surreal, the ephemeral queen herself. Definitely gotta go with the current Immortal Championship Wrestling Women's Champion, the international pop star Becca.
I'm just still a little sore about the Kayla thing.
I mean, to be honest, I was shocked when I heard that too. I'm like, wait, what? Mike, what are you doing? But I got a few wild cards in there actually. And in my opinion, with how these four, and I do mean these four women, will progress over time in order, they will pretty much be the next generation of women's wrestling, in my opinion, because they all come out of the Creative Pro Wrestling Academy. You got Sassy Boatwright, Nat Castle, Zuleika, and my top favorite, sorry girls, your homie the Nomi, Gabby Forza.
Very cool.
But collectively, all four of them, because I announced their debut match back in March, and the energy in that building, holy shit! I'm surprised the building was able to sustain all that. To go further, to go pull back the curtain because it already happened. The match after that was Bronson and TJ Crawford at 2 out of 3 falls. I said to Bronson, I said to Bronson in the back, going, "How the hell are you gonna fall that?" He's like, "I have no fucking idea." But just seeing all four of them progress, especially with Gabby Forza. Gabby Forza has made quite a name for herself, not only doing the Creative Pro events, but also just debuting for FWF Live. And she's a massive powerhouse because she's also, just like Christina Marie, she's also a power lifter.
It's awesome.
But also, she's a football player.
American?
Yeah, American football. She's part of the National Conference winning team, the New York Wolves, out here on Long Island.
Wolves.
It's an female football league.
That's awesome.
But those are my picks for female superstar wrestler, whatever you want to call them, of the year.
Half year.
Shut up. Good luck, John.
I have to agree with what you guys both said. On my list, I had Vicky.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the reason I chose Vicky was the fact that I remember seeing her last year, and there was just something off a little bit. That I didn't know if she just didn't have it yet. But now, almost a year later, to me, she's become probably not only the top female, but probably the most improved in a year. And when you hear her cut a promo, either in the ring or on social media, you believe it with her.
Mm-hmm.
She has the crowd in the palm of her hand, literally. You see it when she's at BCW. You see it when she's at Magic. You see it when she's at ISPW. The crowd is chanting for her. To me, and this is one thing that's always been said, you either want to get over or you either want to go over. She's gotten herself over with the fan base of independent wrestling. I'm not even saying just of New Jersey, of independent wrestling. So that's why to me it's got to be Vicky. But I thought this was fun. It really thought this was fun. We'll definitely have to do this again. Before we wrap up for tonight, one last thing I just wanted to ask you guys. What do you guys see possibly happen in the second half?
Wrestling.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. No, I'm sorry. As like, if certain shows that you're going to, is there something that you think is going to happen?
Just dead air. I know something that has to happen is I'm going to need new brakes because I'm doing a lot of traveling. Because I'm not done. Anybody know a good mechanic? I'm like, got to take care of the Blue Meanie. That's what she's called.
Wow. But and this to people who are watching as well, any predictions? Because we actually do have one coming in.
Oh, of course we do. Oh,
Interesting.
that's a very tempting show. I'm very tempted to go to that show Friday. Outlaw. I think I don't know. I don't know what to expect. And you know what? I'm loving it. Like, this is the best part about being a wrestling fan. I don't know what to expect from show to show but it's always fun. So, and I also expect Darius Carter to keep being an asshole and just killing everybody.
Oh yeah. Ryan, do you have any predictions coming up?
Nope.
I don't as well. I just think right now.
You just threw the question out and then you're like, I don't know.
No, because I thought about it afterwards. I'm like, this is the best part of being, and Billy, you just said it before, the best part about being an independent wrestling fan is A, you don't know what's going to happen, and B, I think the other thing also people forget, you have so many options now.
So many options. There are so many companies that I've gone, like so many different places I've gone to watch wrestling, and we didn't even mention them tonight.
No.
I mean, if you are watching this for some weird reason and you don't go to independent shows, get the hell out of your house and go to independent shows. Like, just do it. You won't regret
it. And I think the best way I can put it.
Spend $500 on a replica WWE bill. You could spend $20 on a goddamn ticket for an indie wrestling card. You'll see better action there. That's a shoot.
That's the best way to put it. Is you're not paying an arm and a leg. You also get to meet these wrestlers during intermission, and you also get to know them. You're not getting that in WWE or AEW. I think that's the best way to put it.
And hell, some people from AEW and WWE Legends are at these events, and you get a chance to meet them.
And some of them actually remember who you are.
Exactly.
But this was definitely fun tonight. We'll definitely do another one of these in the future. But for all of us here, thank you to everybody who commented on the show tonight. I appreciate it a lot. But for Billy and Ryan, I'm John. This has been an Around the Ropes live special. I was about to say YouTube exclusive there for a second. Live special. And we will be back next week, myself and Ryan, with live Around the Ropes podcast episodes. Of course, guys, go subscribe to our channel. You're not going to want to miss what we have coming up because we have some stuff coming up that I can't even talk about right now. Yeah. Some ideas that are going through this big noggin right now.
That's a pretty big noggin, too. It's a good thing, by the way.
Yeah, it's because I have a big brain.
All right, guys. Well, this has been awesome.
Yep, this has been fun.
Yes, it has.
For Billy and Ryan, I'm John. This has been a live Around the Ropes podcast. Go hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing. Does wonders for us. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.